vlog today. Today I'm doing a little sneak attack for a little healthy eating into my family's diet and snacks. So I found a recipe in one of my favorite cookbooks at Sally's Baking Addiction. She's got kind of some healthier takes on things. So first I'm gonna make her skinny banana chocolate chip muffins, and I'll put the link below for it. It's got some healthier aspects. It uses whole wheat flour instead of regular refined flour. It uses honey instead of sugar. Gosh, well, I think that's about it for the healthy changes. But I'm gonna make them, see how the guys like them. So I'm gonna make them the way the cookbook says, but then I'm also gonna make a second batch. And instead of the whole wheat flour, I'm gonna use almond flour. Instead of chocolate chips that are the normal regular ones with sugar, I'm gonna use sugar-free chocolate chips. And instead of honey, I'm gonna use a sweetener that is keto, so it's got monk fruit sweetened instead. And instead of any brown sugar, I'm gonna use a stevia. So we are gonna take a little adventure in experimenting and see what they like better. Here goes. We're just about ready to fold in the chocolate chips here. I'm just gonna get all this batter off the mixer and make sure it's mixed well. I was just looking and noticed a couple of the ingredients, particularly the honey and the brown sugar, kind of sticking to the bottom of my mixer. So I'm gonna do a little extra mixing of that here in a second. All right, so some really sticky parts here of the honey and brown sugar at the bottom, and I'm sure that's ingredients we really want to add that sweetness. So really make sure I get that mixed in. Fold in our chocolate chips. And for the first go around with this recipe, I'm gonna use regular chocolate chips. And we're just gonna fold those in for the instructions. So next we're gonna divide the batter into muffin tins. Now that all the batter is in the muffin tins, it says to top the batter with 2 to 3 thin slices of the banana. Well, the muffins are in their tins and they are ready to go into the oven now. While they bake, I'm going to go ahead and wash up the dishes and get started on my substitute batch. All right, here's my cookbook again with my recipe, and as I prepare to make my substitutions, I just kind of wanted to show you what I was going to substitute out. So they ask for chocolate chips, and as you can see, I always have a big bag of chocolate chips in my house, but I'm going to substitute those regular old ones for these. They're sugar-free, sweetened with stevia. So, and they also, the first batch of my muffins, and the recipe calls for this white whole wheat flour. So this time I'm gonna substitute almond flour just to give it a whirl. The first recipe I used brown sugar, and this time I'm gonna use this monk fruit sweetener. It is gonna be a little different consistency, so it'll be a true experiment there. All right, first batch I used honey, and this time I'm gonna use this maple syrup. A little different than honey. I bought this for another recipe. I'm gonna try a sugar-free Millionaire's shortbread, but I haven't tried it yet. Just grabbed this off Amazon, so I'm gonna give this a whirl. And then all these ingredients I used the first time, I'm gonna keep the same: milk, salt, ground cinnamon, vanilla, and baking soda. So here goes. So I have all the dry ingredients together here. That's the flour, baking soda, salt, and cinnamon. So I'm gonna put this aside. And now I'm gonna whisk what would normally be the honey and brown sugar That is gonna be the sugar-free keto syrup and this monk fruit sweetener. So a big difference from what's asked for as far as consistency. So we're gonna see how this turns out. All right, I'm gonna just stop this a second. Here are the original muffins out of the oven. They smell amazing. I wish it was a scratch and sniff video, but not yet. They rose beautifully. They look delicious. They look like a really fun breakfast. So I'm gonna just set these aside to cool. If this is a recipe my family likes, I might end up trying to tweak it and throw a little extra protein powder in and maybe some peanut butter. Better yet, peanut butter protein powder. That's one of my favorites because I love all things peanut butter. But we're gonna keep going with the things we've got now. So while my last muffins are baking, I wanted to just do a quick comparison of my almond flour versus my white whole wheat flour and the nutritionals on it, and then just the differences in subbing in. So the whole wheat flour, it's 100 calories, 0.5 grams of fat, no cholesterol, no sodium, 23 grams of carbs, 4 that comes from fiber, no sugars, and 4 grams of protein. So this is the almond flour that I used, and it's got 160 calories, so more calories than the whole wheat flour, 12 grams of fat, so more fat than the whole wheat flour considerably. No cholesterol, no sodium, 6 grams of carbs, so way less carbs in the almond flour, 4 grams of fiber, and that's actually the same, and 2 grams of sugar, so 2 compared to 0, so a little more sugar in the almond flour too. But then kind of the win is that this has 8 grams of protein in it versus 4. So kind of some trade-offs. I don't know which one's really better. I guess it kind of depends on what you're looking for in your nutrition for the day. I love the taste of almond flour because I love the taste of almonds, and so I think it gives it a good kick. But those are the differences. So let's take a look at how those muffins are doing. All right, all the muffins are done. These are the substitute ones, and those are the regular ones. Definitely a nicer round crown on the regular recipe. These didn't rise, you can kind of tell that way. They didn't rise the same. They're definitely thicker, kind of dense. So the real test will be what's preferred. So I made up 2 plates, and I know which one is which. This one is the sugar-free one, the one that didn't rise quite as much. I lathered both in a good amount of butter because butter makes everything better, but we'll see what they say. So here goes, I'm gonna call them in. All right, my 2 test subjects have arrived. So I want you guys each to take a bite of each of the muffins and tell me which one you like better. Ironically, they both took a bite of the opposite one. So that's interesting.
I like the one that's warm better.
The one that's warm, the second one?
Mm-hmm. I like the first one. No,
Which one do you like better, Dad?
I like the warmed one as well.
The one that's a little warmer too? Mm-hmm. All right, so the one they both selected, and this was a blind taste test, they both selected the sugar-free one. So that's pretty interesting. The one made with almond flour instead of the whole wheat flour and no sugar. Well, that's a win all around. Well, that was a fun experiment. To my surprise, both liked the sugar-free almond flour one. It was a little bit warmer. That might have skewed the results, but either way, they didn't mind the taste. And so in my opinion, that's a win. So I'm gonna keep trying to just substitute sugar-free sweetener, like monk fruit sweetener or stevia, for sugar in recipes, and just keep trying to make those little changes for the family. I enjoy baking every now and then. Mostly when I don't have to bake, then I like to bake. So I like to provide homemade snacks and desserts for the family, and I'm gonna try to keep helping us all be healthier by doing that. So thanks for joining this video. This was super spur of the moment. As you can tell, I don't have any makeup on, the hair is just up. We are living our real, authentic, best life here, but I feel very supported and surrounded by happy, encouraging people, and so no need to put on false airs here. Loving this journey I'm still on, quickly approaching the 2-year mark of my VSG and feeling better than ever. I am suffering from a little bit of back problems. I've got some bulging discs, so that's put a damper on my exercise, which is a little bit challenging. Going to PT now for that, getting some different alternative care. Really just trying to exhaust all options before taking any other more dramatic options like surgery or anything like that. So really working on staying healthy and strong, strengthening core, mental strength, emotional strength, physical strength, they all kind of go hand in hand. Wishing you well. Thank you again for watching this, and take care.